Sam had been at the organization for 20 plus years, and he was a very positive person, but something happened there.
This backfired, though, for some reason.
Yes, it did backfire, because what happened was, and my philosophy is, you know, forgive and move forward. And after, I'd say about a few weeks or so, I found out that my supervisor had not gone through the proper channels of reporting this incident. And what happened was he ended up getting in trouble. And that's where
because it leaked to human resources.
Yes, actually there was a full investigation, and human resources got involved. The supervisor ended up being disciplined for a week.
And he started blaming you for his plight.
He was very angry because the mindset was you don't go to human resources.
Which you didn't in the first place.
No, I had told a colleague of mine about the situation, and she had a responsibility to report it. All right. And so what happened was, it was like the domino effect.
So you've got the supervisor mad at you, he's telling people about it, blaming you for it, and then you've got other supervisors mad at you, and the situation got worse.
Yes, it
continued in the first place.
It continued to get worse. And so I was on the track for being promoted. I was interested in a quality assurance position, a quality engineering position. There was a synchronous manufacturing position. There were several positions that I was well qualified for. And up until that point, this particular supervisor had said, no problem, keep doing what you're doing. I'm here to support you. But after he got in trouble, then it turned, the tables turned. And what happened was, it was almost as if I was seen as not being a team player because I did not go along.
Troublemaker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Lisa, we're going to have to go for a break, but something comes across here because you're looking at certain workplaces where a competition is obviously ensuing, because you highlight that in your book, not necessarily in those words, but there's certain kinds of atmospheres that in a workplace that could foster this. But you ended up being a victim, and what I'm noticing here is, in a lot of these workplaces, people seek to defend themselves even against what should be just. And I'm very concerned about this aspect and what your own studies, what your own research has showed up, because a lot of you may be watching and feeling, well, look, I'm a bully in my workplace and it's not fair and I don't understand why. Because as we talk about workplace bullying today, something I want to address to Dr. Lisa Barrow is this. Now that we're in an economic, well, still in the economic meltdown, some say we're not, but we're still seeing problems here. Does it mean that some people will put up with being bullied more for fear of not being able to find another job? This is a question we also have to deal with. But as we move on with this, I'm going to be asking Lisa now, what is workplace bullying exactly? Now, Lisa, you told your story about your own experience, but there may be people watching that will say, I'm not sure if I'm actually being bullied at work, because sometimes you do have a strain between people. Sometimes it's an isolated incident of some kind of a meltdown. What exactly constitutes workplace bullying, according to your definition?
Workplace bullying is repetitive behaviors or attitudes which seek to devalue others in the workplace. And typically, it's not just a one-time event. It may happen over a course of a couple of months. It may happen over a few years, as in my case. But the key is it's repetitive. And the
like goal, you've been marked by the bully in a sense? It feels that way?
Yes, yes. And so what happens is it may start off very subtle. And this is why a lot of people embrace, well, I shouldn't say embrace, but accept the bullying in the workplace, is because it's just, well, this is how we do things here, or this is just business as usual. And the way that I like to describe bullying, for those who may say, well, we're just talking about a topic that's not very important. Think of a prisoner. And if that prisoner was going through the water torturing process, initially the drops of water on the person's forehead would not be too detrimental to that person. Oh, I can handle it. You know, just drops, drops, drops. But imagine if you were allowed to experience the dropping of the water on your forehead for hours, for days, over and over. After a while, it breaks you.
Wow. So the person eventually becomes broken.
Broken, exactly. So if you can use that analogy, and associated with workplace bullying, it's very subtle. You know, I may say comments to you, and you say, oh, well, maybe she's having a bad day. I may move you into a room by yourself, and you think it's temporary, but you're there for a day, 2 days, and then it becomes a month, and on and on and on. Your coworkers who used to talk to you, used to have lunch with you, used to drink coffee with you, no longer want to
And this
speak
is a
to
more
you.
subtle form, because
It's
some
very
can
subtle.
be really overt, like that salmon.